Yo, 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 welcome back to the Hulaham Hour. 2 weeks in a row with an in-house guest. What's going on, Gary?
Hey, everybody. How we doing today?
Doing really
Ready
good,
to
man.
rock it out. It's a great show.
Yeah, let's go. How's it going, Nick?
Doing well, man. I'm happy to have Gary on.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week. So with that being said, let's kick it. It'll go away. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hulaham Hour. Kurtis, Nick at your service, and I would like to thank our community. We crested 100,000 views as of last week, so couldn't have done it without everybody. So
yes.
We are super stoked up about that. Happy to celebrate it with Gary this week. So, yeah, just for those of you that don't know, this is Gary Conklin, very well-known person in our local community, and way better than me and Nick at fantasy football, if I'm saying this.
At least the last couple of years.
Dude, it's bad. I won that first year in 2017. I've not even made the playoffs since then in this league, dude. Like, it's bad. Like,
Well,
it's
when
really
you're a
bad.
car salesman, you sit at your computer all day and check shit out.
Oh, I love it. I know Nick sometimes messages me. I'll be like, hey, dude, check out all this that I did today. He's like, do you even work? Like, sometimes I
happens.
question. Yeah, it does. So, okay, so I'm going to launch right into our fantasy recap to start with. I'm going to go over that, and then we'll save the league for last because that is the league that Gary is a part of so that he can chime in on his team, how everything else is doing, and all that. So, as bad as I'm doing in our leagues, I'm in sole first place of the Fourth and Long Prognosticators League. So, haha, all of you. And by the way, it's the only compliment I'm ever going to give Toby, but thank you for beating Bob so that I could have sole first place. He had DeAndre Swift going.
Oh, boy.
And he ended up winning by, like, I think a very minimal margin. Let's see here. Yeah, the Icky Subtle ended up beating out Moran 123 to 117. Two girlies, one cup. Ended up beating out Jared's Not Branham's. Thank you, Eddie. 137 to 120. Shit Baby What took down Scary Terry and the gang 169 to 106. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, you better start doing your parade walk because you are walking in the 4th of July parade, my man. Big League Bush beat out F Your Couch 144 to 109. Chasing TDs ended up beating out Hurting for a Title 135-97. And Beer Belly Bombers, yours truly, beat out Man 136 to 96.
Blowout.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. So, and playing Scary Terry and the gang this week, so it should be a pretty easy dub unless my team completely shits the bed. But to be honest with you, the reason that I'm doing so well is one man and one man only, and his name is Smith and Jigma. He has just been an incredible player this year, coming out of wide receiver university. It's just unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, at least he's got a quarterback who can throw to him.
Yeah,
too,
that's true, dude. If I'm Jamar Chase, I'm finally getting a little bit happier. But if I'm Justin Jefferson, I'm about ready to, like, smack somebody with my chain, dude.
It's lucky you don't have Geno with him.
So bad.
He's great at throwing to the other team.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so we're going to start with Blood, Sweat, and Beers this week and save the league for last. So let's see here. All right, I got my second victory for No Souls 2.0.
Fuck you.
Against Nick and the Take It Genty. But, Nick, on a positive note from this, there's a 6-way tie for 5th place in our league, and I'm in 5th and you're in 6th. So we got to take that as a victory. Like, we got to take that as a victory because me and Nick have been 11 and 12 all year. Like, it's just been so bad.
If you're 5th, then you're in 3rd place. No, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, as of last week, No Souls took down Take It Genty 208 to 171. Nick in the other league last week had to score 200 to beat Anna, and then this week he would have had to score 210 to beat me. So you've just been getting totally shafted on that front. Okay, so Gabe changed his team name, so I no longer have to say cunty on this podcast. So I no longer, but Keg Stand Comeback ended up beating out Juicy Furburger.
I don't know if that's better.
I don't know if it's better either. 138 to 135.
Just want to tell
Oh my
you,
God.
we're in no way, shape, or form racist in any
Yeah,
sense.
Gabe, holy shit, bro. We are getting so canceled. All right. No, if us saying fuck Jerry Jones and that Patrick Mahomes worships the devil enough times and we haven't been banned, we again aren't going anywhere.
Those are
We again aren't going. All right. Oh my God. Talk about matchup of the week here. The nail painter and the dogs beat out the man in Jameer 150.38 to 150.3.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Let's look at this breakdown. Oh, so literally Caleb Williams getting that last trash couple yards won Jordan the game. Oh my God, dude, that's crazy. Wow. Really good game. Alan, you've definitely gotten shafted all year. Like I think he has the most points scored against plus it's been crazy. So Ian, God, I hate the fact that Ian's undefeated. It just irks me. Ginger Killa beat out my ball Zach Ertz, 158 to 112. Big old TDs beat out MGM Superstars, 190 to 128 in the battle of the same logos. And my beautiful wife got her second victory of the year, 131 to 129 against Wobble Pops. So great job there. All right, moving on to the league. So Gary, you are sitting tied with Rick and first place. And last year you went undefeated till the very end. Tell us what do me and Nick need to do differently to be more successful? Just go right
Well,
to the
you
point.
loaded up on too many running backs
Oh,
at the
dude,
beginning
yeah,
of the
I know.
year.
My running backs are like, I think I have 5 starters and I have 7 number 3 wide receivers. Yeah, that's my biggest problem. Yeah,
You need guys like Sterling Shepard and, these good. How about Kendrick Bourne the last couple weeks, Nick?
Yeah,
Oh, he's been wonderful.
Yeah,
really good.
boy, oh boy, he's playing great. Yeah, I play Ricky this week, and you know what? We're both 5-1, and he's such a little pussy. I think we'll kick his ass.
yeah, I love it, dude. Yeah, and hey, Rick, change your fucking name because I'm sick of saying Ricky P5272 every week. So I'm sick of saying this is week number 6 that I've said, hey, Rick, change your goddamn team name.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what we got here for last week's matchups. So I'm about to change my team name from Dicker in the Brown to I'm being dicked in my own brown by my own team. Pigskin Princess beat me out 166 to 130. According to a text from Sarah this week to the group chat, I think all of the women won this week. Yeah, they did. So Sarah beat me 166 to 130. Steph, Moody as fuck, beat out Team Kaziski Kush 160 to 155. Catalina Pillows gave you your only loss this week, 146 to 122. Yeah, you had an off week, that's for
Douche.
sure. Yeah. Well, but when Abuka, or as Rob Gronkowski says it, goes down hurt and only gets 4 points, that's huge. Sidebar here. The main reason Baker Mayfield should win the MVP this year is because he's not had his number 1, he's not had his number 2, he's not had his number 3 receiver. Now he doesn't even have his number 4 receiver, and he's down to his second string running back. What Baker Mayfield's doing is incredible, but we'll get into that.
He is. He's having a hell of a year.
I am very, very scared for the Lions this weekend. Like I am. Like it's going to be. Do they play on Monday night?
Monday night.
They play Monday night. Okay, so I'm not so much scared for them this weekend as I am for Monday.
Right.
But anyways, back on track here. It hurts Laporta. Beat out Morty. Again, Ian, lame team name. At least Ginger Kill gets a little rise out of me. Like, Morty doesn't do shit. You don't share a team with Rick anymore, so change your name. But you got beat 138 to 111. Old Conk beat out Ricky P5272, 178 to 155. And Lil Conks put the boot down on Scotty Doesn't Know Fantasy, 182 to 109 to take our ass kicking of the week.
She's had some high scores, man, like 3 in a row.
She's
had
a couple. Yep, she's got a couple now. That's definitely
Nick got one there. Snuck one in.
Yeah, Nick had to get high score to get his first victory of the year last week.
225 to beat her. Come on.
She had 210 and Nick had 225.
Oh, I thought he got high and then scored.
No. Yeah. No, but honestly, that I don't know who said it last week, but that's the first matchup I've ever seen where both players scored 200 points. Yeah,
awesome.
That's incredible. So, Yeah. Well, with that being said, our standings for this league, Ricky P and Gary, they are in first at 5-1. There's a three-way tie for third with Lil Conks, Moody, AF, and Catalina's Pillows at 4-2. Then we have Pigskin Princess in sole sixth place at 3-3. Scotty Doesn't Know Fantasy, Morty, Hertz Laporta, Team Kaziski, Kush, and Old Conk are in a real big battle for seventh, and I am solely sucking dick by myself in last place. You want to know what's sad, though, is I don't even have the least amount of points scored. That's Ryan. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, it is Ryan. But I have the most points scored against me by a pretty significant margin.
Well, nothing against Ryan, but he took Joe Mixon as his first running back.
I know.
He hasn't played yet.
And he's not going to probably play this year.
Sarah needs to brush him up.
Yeah, I know. She does, because Sarah does better than Ryan does. And, do you remember 2 years ago when I got Ryan so fucked up that he slept through half the draft and he woke up in the 12th? He goes, "Who the fuck drafted my team? He did better that year than he ever has." I love you, Ryan, but maybe you should take Sarah's advice. So, and Ryan won't get this because I know he's right down the street hunting right now, so he won't see this till later tonight. So I'll get that.
Alexander Madison with the first pick.
But we love you, Ryan. But hey, don't worry. You don't even got to wash that T-shirt. I'll just take it back dirty for the draft next year. So don't worry about that.
I'm going to throw one more thing in. I got CD Lamb coming back.
There you go.
My first pick. Haven't had him for a while. Ibuka's hurt. Maybe, I don't know if he'll play this week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of injuries this week.
There is. Yeah, I'm looking at your team right now, and you got Deebo Samuel questionable, CD Lamb questionable, Bowers questionable, Ibuka questionable. Yeah, and you got Benson on the IR. Yeah, that's wild. Your team's definitely on paper killing it, man. And honestly, if I was Baltimore, I'm to a point where I might look at trading Henry just because, he's at the tail end of his career. You still could get something for him, and then it would open up Justice Hill for you to do well. But I'm actually looking at my other league. I have Henry, and I'm still contemplating. Don't worry, Steven. Don't decline that trade yet. I want to get your thoughts on it.
For you.
It would be, Henry or Nick will decline it for me. Don't worry. Derrick Henry for George Pickens.
Who's the other running backs? Who's your other running back?
Oh, I have tons. I have McCaffrey. I have Kenneth Walker. I have.
I would take it.
Yeah, I originally offered Jamar Chase for Derrick Henry, and he's like, "Yeah, I'd do Pickens, but I wouldn't do Chase." But let me just look real fast. So let's see here, my team. So I have McCaffrey, Roddy White, Michael Carter, Zach Charbonnet, R.J. Harvey, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, you got a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. So I think it'd be great, and I don't have anything to lose, but it's hard to want to trade one of your players away when your projected total points is 50 more than the person that you're playing. It's kind of hard to want to trade away anybody at that point.
Yeah.
My team's finally starting to come into their own. I've won 2 in a row now, but losing 4 in a row kind of puts a damper on your season to start. It's going to be really hard for me to come back and win this bad boy back, but it's happening. Look out for No Souls 2.0. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up our fantasy talk for the week, and we can move right on in to our headlines for the week. So I'm going to start us off with one that kind of flew under the radar, but really kind of pissed me off. I hate talking trash about people that are doing the same kind of thing that we do, but Adam Schefter's on my shit list. I saw an article in the New York Times sports thing that I follow online that Adam Schefter was making up false articles about the Lions, and here is my best synopsis of that. There was a report, which was false, that the Lions called the NFL to investigate players hitting Hutch low on his injured leg side. Okay? Dan Campbell never called the NFL. Dan Campbell never once breathed a word of that. And actually said, we lost Nick. Actually said, there you are, you're back. Actually said, and I quote, "I don't know who made that up, but we're going to find out who you are, and you are never going to be back allowed in this press conference room." Pretty much he said, listen, we're football players. People are going to hit people low, and if they want to play dirty like that, let them. They can. There's nothing in the rules that says that they can't, so why would I have them investigate that? For Adam Schefter doing this his whole career, he might not have personally made it up, but he's better than that. And it just really pisses me off because it makes the Lions look like we're trying to pull out all the strings and get people in trouble when we're just here to play football. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Nick?
There's no way Schefter's the one who dropped that. He might have picked it up, but he's a Michigan guy all the way.
I
I
know.
find that hard to believe.
Me too, but again, in today's day and age, it's like people are just making up shit just for, like I also read another article, and this one I believe, that Jalen Carter was not hurt for that Thursday night game between the Eagles and the Giants. He refused to play at MetLife Stadium because of all the ACL injuries.
Wow.
Yeah, that he wasn't hurt. He just didn't want to play there. And I can't say I blame the man. I mean, that place has gotten more tore Achilles than every other stadium in the NFL put together.
Yeah, they buy a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and not to get off on a tangent because it seems every week we go on a tangent about turf versus, grass and stuff. But then again, you look at, I still call it Heinz Field because it is, but look at Chris Boswell eating shit trying to kick a field goal, on a real grass stadium, because
Right.
it just doesn't hold like turf does. So there's arguments to be made on both sides, but overall, I'm all for the safety of the players because I'm so sick of my wife opening up her fantasy app in the morning going, my whole starting lineup is questionable. You know what I mean? It's just not.
How about the 0 penalties for
Yes.
Kansas City?
Let's move right into that.
That's
I love that.
ridiculous.
Yes. So I'm going to get these stats wrong, but again, no one comes to this channel for stats. They come here for laughs. But I read two different stats. One, that there's not been a team in 70 years that has gone an entire game without a penalty. But then I also read one that there's actually in the last 20 years been 12 teams over the course of thousands of games that have gone through a game without having a penalty thrown, and 10 of those 12 teams are Kansas City Chiefs. We all know we're full supporters here that Kansas City are devil worshippers and sacrifice babies before every game. However, Nick, what are your overall thoughts on the Chiefs not getting a single penalty in the Lions game on last Sunday?
What kills me most of all, they have the most penalized right tackle in the NFL by a long shot.
Yeah.
You're telling me not once this game for magic reasons? It's like saying Terrion Arnold isn't going to grab a receiver. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
he is.
Yeah, the most handsy
it's
guy.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Apparently, Kermit the Frog turns on the refs. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everybody on this channel's seen this before, but for those that haven't, I have proof that Patrick Mahomes loves the refs. I don't know, man. It's to a point where I also started reading an article this afternoon at lunch that said the NFL's ratings are down this year. And their whole MO with this article was, the ratings are down because the teams that normally win aren't winning. So let's change that narrative, right? And how can we do that without everyone knowing? Let's just have the Chiefs win. Because please explain to me, Vegas, okay, betting odds are scary accurate. Like, if you pick an underdog to win a game, it's probably because they both were like negative 110, on odds. Kansas City at 2-3 was favored in this game against the Lions, who were 4-1.
Right.
How?
Right.
How in the world, the way that they have not beat a team above 500, we are above 500, they're favored, and then they win. The whole thing, again, I don't think the NFL is rigged, but the whole thing points to that this one particular game was. So
I just think they get way too many calls at home
yes.
compared to when they're on the road.
Yeah.
And, I used to hate the Cowboys. Now Kansas City is
It's just
the team I do not root for.
I remember me and Nick back in the day when Patrick Mahomes made it to his first Super Bowl when he played Tom Brady, I believe. Who's Tom Brady playing? This wasn't it. But we made T-shirts. We took Sharpie and white tees and put "fuck Tom Brady," "fuck the Patriots." Made these, and it was because we were just so. It's not that I don't like Tom Brady or the Patriots. I just don't want to see the same team win 7 years in a row.
Right.
Right. I like to see it spread out. I don't even care if it's the Lions that win. I just don't want to watch the same Super Bowl every year. And we did it with Tom Brady in New England. And then he did it 2-3 years in a row in Tampa Bay. Now he's gone, and now Patrick Mahomes is doing it. And I can't knock the fact that he's not a good player and all this, but there are other underlying circumstances that are leading me to believe that they are just not that team. And there shouldn't be this much favoritism in a big
I
sport.
just picked their defense up this week. Not that I want to do, but,
Dude, but
I'll tell you what, I got a Falcon sweatshirt on. They look good the other night.
Oh my
didn't
God,
they?
yeah, dude,
They're fun to watch.
They looked really, really good. So,
And
yes.
Gary, my one rebuttal to that though is also fuck Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh God, I love it. So yeah.
I
So
can't do it.
couple last little things. I guess we just honestly that kind of wraps up my headlines. I guess for the week. Nick, you said you had a couple.
Yeah, Callahan getting fired. 4-19 in 2 years.
Yep.
1-5 to start out the year. I don't see much of a downside to this, but what do you guys think? Do you think they'll start winning a few more games?
Well, if it happens anything like what happened with UCLA, possibly, but I don't see that happening. I don't know. What do you got?
They've been a downtrodden team. They've been known for their defense for the last 6-7 years. They've went through multiple quarterbacks. This one needs a couple more years. Their running game sucks. Pollard's getting old. I've got him. He's useless. I don't know. I mean, really.
They just have a bottom 5 team on paper, period. And, everyone's been knocking Cam Ward for being kind of so negative in his press conferences, and I'm sure you saw that thing where he says, to keep it a buck, we're ass.
Yeah.
And for a rookie to say that, we had this conversation, I think, last week, it's kind of viewed negatively, but no one else is there to say it. So the backup quarterback's not coming out and saying that, And I don't care if he's a rookie. He's right. They suck. They just are bad. And someone's got to say it. And for him to step up, say it, and then come back the following week and actually win a game, that's huge.
Yeah.
So I definitely think they got the right guy in Cam Ward. But, they've in my opinion, pulled a Chicago Bears move. You start off with you have a coach, they suck. You get him to draft his quarterback that he wants, and then after 6 games, you just let him go. How is that person supposed to do anything good with their career? They have totally just tanked it for themselves. So I don't know, but if I'm Mike Vrabel going to Tennessee this week to play them, and my Patriots are 4-1, I am laughing. I am
all the way.
Ear to ear grinning with this biggest shit-eating grin I can make on my face. Like, I don't know. So, all right. Did you have any other headlines this week?
Oh, Vrabel's going put up 50, guys.
Dude, it could be 50-0. It could. And he might not let the gas.
Their offense looks good. Their defense is always good, the Patriots.
Yeah. But Drake May is coming into his own. So,
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, we'll get on to some scoring recaps here and get into our predictions. So, okay. Week 6 was another good week. Gotta say, just throwing this out there, I called the Giants beating the Eagles last week. Jordan and Nick both picked the Eagles because they're the easy pick, but fraud alert, I think the Eagles are frauds. I personally could see them trading A.J. Brown this year at some point. I really just think that apparently there was a New York Giants reporter that was standing out in the hallway after the game and heard A.J. Brown scream at the top of his lungs, how the fuck do we lose to the Giants?
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. So, it's not good over there. Apparently, they're having player-only meetings without Nick Sirianni. That in itself is writing on the wall that shit's not good. I think Sirianni is losing his locker room very quickly because he doesn't know how to do anything but be just a pompous ass. But
That's when A.J. Brown was good, speaking of Tennessee. That was back in the glory days.
Exactly,
man.
when he actually got the ball thrown to him, and now he doesn't. So, but the Giants ended up taking that one 34-17. Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart looked like the future of New York. They looked really, really good. If you actually look up the definition of CTE brain injury in the dictionary, it's just a picture of Cam Scatterbo. It's just a picture of him in the womb.
And Dart, the headbutting like they do constantly.
Yeah. It's really good to see. So I actually played Sarah, who had both of those people last week, and she kicked my ass. But then I played in my other league. I played someone who had both of those players, but had them on their bench.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. I would have lost by about 40 points if he'd have played him too. So
Scatterbrain.
yeah, dude. I seen also there was that SNL skit where the two guys acted like rappers and they're just going yeet yeet yeet, and it said Cam Scatabo and Jackson Dart's new rap album, and it was just those two guys rapping like it was so funny.
I had that Vidal Sassoon last week from
Yeah.
the Charger. That's what I call him, Vidal Sassoon. He did good.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, okay. So we got Giants beat the Eagles. Eagles are on high fraud alert. I think this next game I think might go down as one of the worst games that I've had to listen to. Even I was very intrigued because I was listening to it coming back from the cabin. I was listening to it on NFL radio on Sirius, and they actually had a British guy as their announcer.
Oh, wow.
And the guy knew his stuff. Like, he wasn't like, oh, chip, cheerio, he fumbled the touch of downs. It wasn't like that. This guy knew his shit. He knew his players. And it was just fun to listen to someone that normally would be talking about soccer or football, talking about football. So it was really cool. But overall, this game sucked. Justin Fields had negative 10 passing yards. The Broncos got a safety for a holding call in the end zone. The NFL should stop giving London these bad games because, to be honest, one of the funniest things I read was this is the worst thing the United States has done to Great Britain since 1776. And I couldn't agree more.
Oh, man.
But what were your thoughts on that game, Nick?
Dude, it was brutal. I turned it on in the morning. I was excited for Sunday football, and I was very unexcited very quickly.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it was just both offenses. Bo Nix didn't look good.
Nope.
Cortland Sutton wasn't involved again.
Nope.
Every time their offense runs like shit, he doesn't get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty common theme with that offense.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, you were pretty high and mighty on him the first 3 weeks. There's a reason teams keep passing him around like a used condom.
Yeah. I don't want to meet the people that pass around used condoms, so I don't know who the fuck you're hanging out with, bud, but I get where you're coming from. But no, in my defense, the first 3 weeks, he was one of the top passers in the game. They just weren't winning games. I also find it hilarious that the New York Jets have 0 turnovers playing in the United States, but got their first one in the UK. So we'll see if Aaron Glenn can actually. What are your thoughts on Aaron Glenn taking over as head coach of New York, being a defensive-minded guy, and them being the only team in NFL history through the first 5 games to not record a turnover?
That's amazing. I mean,
it's terrible.
Oh, yeah,
it's terribly amazing. I mean, I wished bad on Ben Johnson, who's starting to pull his head out of his ass, but Aaron Glenn I actually wanted to see succeed in New York, but he's just proven the pudding. I don't think anybody can succeed there. It's just getting bad. So, hey, if Mark Sanchez gets out of his felony trouble, maybe he can come back and play quarterback for him.
At least you know you got a
fumble.
The butt fumble, yeah.
I think as long as that owner's there, they're just kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's very true. I just, but.
Another Jerry Jones type that's just way too involved and doesn't let them do their job.
Yep, for sure. All right. What I called to be potentially one of the games of the weeks ended up being kind of a barn burner, except for the fact that Jackson Smith and Jigma went off again. Seahawks, Jags. Seahawks outdid the Jags 20-12. How in the world did the Jags score 12? Did they get 4 field goals? Did they?
I think
no,
so.
Cam Little, he missed 2 field goals. He had negative 2 points, so they
Really?
had to
Okay, so maybe they scored 2 touchdowns and they missed both extra points. Either way, Seahawks look decent. But Jags defense is still good. I will say though, Travis Hunter had a couple of really crucial drops, that are really making it seem like they need to keep him on one side of the ball. And I forget who it was that said, finding a very talented corner is way more difficult than finding a very talented wide receiver in this league, which I think is very true. I mean, look at the Lions. We're stacked at wide receiver, but our corners are just not that great. Never have been. We've never been a good team to even draft corners. Yeah. But if I was the Jags, I understand why they did what they did, why they're doing what they're doing, but at some point you're gonna have to pick and choose because I don't see it working longevity wise. What about you, Nick?
I never really did. One, he's really small. I mean, an average running back outweighs him by 30 pounds.
Yeah.
That's who you want coming down the line to hit somebody?
Yeah.
Not really.
Yep. So, but I don't know. What are your Travis Hunter thoughts?
I would stick right at defense.
Yeah.
I really would. I'd play defense on them. I don't think, Lawrence hasn't been playing that fantastic. That the wide receiver, what is it? Thomas?
Brian Thomas, yeah.
He's starting to heat up.
He is a little bit. Yep, he is.
ETN gets going. Their offense is good, but I don't know. I don't think they really need Hunter on offense.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So, and especially considering they ended up losing, so obviously they need to make some sort of change. But my God, we sat here last week talking about the game where he fell twice and ended up winning to beat, Kansas City.
Yeah.
And when we're sitting here going, if he falls and gets touched, we're sitting here saying how bad he sucks. And because he actually got back up and scored, he's
total different.
He's Ginger Jesus again, So, yeah, kind of crazy. All right. So moving on to the Chargers Dolphins. Nick, you got that video I sent you earlier today, right?
Oh yeah, I love it.
So the Chargers social media team, there's a clip from The Simpsons where Homer is at the aquarium.
SeaWorld.
Yeah, SeaWorld or whatever. And there's a dolphin, and he goes, "You want the food? Nah. You want the food? Nah." And the Chargers social media team put their logo on Homer, put a W for win on the little fish he kept trying to feed the dolphin, and then put the Dolphins logo on the dolphin.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Dude, to A1, hats off to the frickin' Chargers social media team. That shit is hysterical to me.
That is funny.
So funny. I had a good conversation today with the gentleman, shout out Tim, that is probably the world's biggest Dolphins fan. Mike McDaniels is not the problem in Miami. I'm sorry, he's not. Tua turning the ball over. For him to come out, throw 3 interceptions, and then want to blame his team for a loss, that is just like day one, don't do that kind of shit. What are your thoughts on Tua throwing his team under the bus, Nick?
I think Tua's done. I think McDaniels is done. I think at this point, it shows their locker room has no respect for either of them. They have no control over their locker room.
None.
If they're not even attending players' meetings because they don't feel like it, obviously they don't have any respect for either of them.
I know, and your number one player tears his ACL and leaves the field smiling with happiness because he knows he doesn't have to endure this pain anymore this year, so.
Yeah, they're tough to watch.
They are.
They got a couple key components, but.
I know, and if you're Achan, I'm itching to get the fuck out of there,
Well, their defensive backs they're not good.
No.
They really aren't.
No.
They kind of remind me of a team called the Lions that got so many injuries in their defensive backfield right now.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yep. So Chargers took that game 29-27, but they only beat the Dolphins by 2 points. If I'm the Chargers, I'm still looking myself in the mirror and going, right. But definitely not the biggest dumpster fire of this season by far. Biggest dumpster fire on paper to me is the Ravens, who only scored a whopping 3 points this week against the Rams. Rams won 17-3. Puka had an injury scare. I think Blake Corum had an injury scare. I don't know how serious. Do you know how serious Corum's injury is, Nick?
Corum's injury isn't very serious.
Okay.
Puka looks like he's probably going to be out this week, but that should be it.
I kind of thought so too. He tried coming back into the game, I believe, on Sunday, but just couldn't do it. So
he still didn't practice today, I saw.
No, okay.
So, and they're playing overseas, so odds are they probably set him out.
Oh, they are. Oh, Jesus, yeah. I wouldn't even send him on.
There's
the trip.
like 8 teams on bye next week, so a lot of guys are going to get healed up.
Yep.
I don't know if the Rams are one of them or not, but there's like 8 teams on bye.
Yeah.
So next week's lineups are going to look a little sketchy.
Yeah. See, I'm going to have 4 defensive players playing.
Mine looks sketchy every week, so I should be good to go.
Mine looks sketchy, yeah. All right. But, the Ravens, I don't know how true this headline was that I read, but I could see it being true. Jim Harbaugh had to call a meeting to reprimand some of his players that have already booked their Cancun vacation after week 17 or 18. Yeah. Yeah, like walked in, saw him on Travelocity, and we're like, what the fuck are you people doing? Like, we're 1-5, but like, we ain't done. You know, I mean, when you lose 7 games, you could probably book your Cancun trip, but like, there's still, no one's mathematically eliminated yet, but that's the mindset the Ravens locker room has right now. And
it's bad.
It's bad. It's so bad. So I don't even know. One, Lamar Jackson clearly is that entire team. 2, Derrick Henry's having an off year because he doesn't have full Lamar Jackson. But if I'm them, I'm looking at this point, if they do lose one more game, which it looks like they're probably gonna, you got to look at possibly unloading somebody for the future. I mean, like I was talking with Gary before, like, do they trade Derrick Henry to get something for him, knowing 1, he's at the tail end of his career, and 2, he's not performing like he was before? Like, what are your thoughts, Nick, on what the Ravens should do to try to salvage something out of this year?
My thing is, if you give him up, who are you going to get in return? Because him being over 30, you're not going to get a huge value back in return. Mm-hmm. You're not. That could actually make an impact on your team. They have like 9 defensive starters hurt.
Yeah.
There's only so much you could do in trade right now to salvage much.
It's very true. It's very, very true.
You might just have to weather the storm and write this year off.
Yeah. Hence why the players are booking their Cancun trips. Yeah, gotta love it, but I don't know.
Ship them off to the Texans.
Yeah. That would be wild. That'd really
be a hell
wild.
of a fit, though.
That'd be once Mixon got healthy, that would be a almost scarier 1-2 punch than Gibbs and frickin' Mont, dude. That'd be crazy.
Just like 30 years older.
Yeah. Yeah, because what is Jahmyr Gibbs is like 14 and a half years old. And no.
Yeah.
All right. Another dumpster fire team this year. Cardinals. It's just bad. But again, they got bit by the injury bug pretty bad. So, Colts took them down 31-27. Again, really close game, especially for how good the Colts are supposed to be. 1, Jonathan Taylor, absolutely incredible. He's been fun to watch this year. Josh Downs is even coming out as a number 2 receiver for them. Pittman's been hit or miss, but the Colts have that new rookie tight end too, right? What's his name?
Tyler Warren.
Yeah, he's been excellent player for them. Yes. So, but to only beat the Cardinals by 4 points when they've been doing what they've been doing this year, it's kind of tough. But what are your thoughts, Gary, on Daniel Jones so far this year, man?
Fantastic.
He's been crazy good.
The big boy out of Duke, I think he's found a home.
Yep.
He's doing good. On the other hand, the little Jap gunslinger, I'm not a big fan of.
No.
I never was. I didn't think Kyler Murray was. I've never drafted him.
Nope.
In like 15 years of doing fantasy football. And I never will.
No.
I just never thought he was great.
So you'll get a kick out of this, and you'll never be able to unsee this once I tell you, but Kyler Murray runs like a toddler that just stole a piece of candy.
Yes. Yeah, he does, man.
He's just
running on eggshells.
Yeah, and then it was funny, like last week, towards the end of the game, that center snapped the ball prematurely and hit him in the face mask. It's like you can't knock the center because that's where a normal quarterback would end up getting the ball if he hiked it, So it's just kind of crazy. All right, we lost Nick, but he'll be back. No worries. So we're going to keep on trucking along. All right. So, yeah, Colts 31, Cardinals 27. All right. Upset of the week. We'll wait for that because I want to get Nick's input because I think he has Dowdle in one of the leagues. You better get his ass back logged on here. We lost you. Okay. All right. We'll just get into it. I've been wanting to my Goldsmith Brian, shout out Brian for this great idea, told me that I should get a placeholder for when this happens of Nick. Like a really funny picture of him or something, so that it's just there. So it's there. So Nick's never gone. All right, and with that being said, we'll stop talking shit about Nick. All right, all right. We didn't go over too much. We just finished up the whole week's worth of picks, so we're gonna get into it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Cowboys Panthers. Nick, lay it on us. Panthers ended up winning 30-27. Give us your synopsis of it.
Oh, God, we're so much better after trading Micah Parsons. Fuck, they're last in the league in defense.
Dude, their defense is trash.
I mean, they got to give their credit to their offense, though. They've still continued to put up a ton of points. Dak has actually looked good this year, and he's been doing it without CeeDee Lamb still.
Yeah.
So I got to give their offense credit, but God, that defense is atrocious.
What's the over-under on when Lamb comes back that Pickens throws a fit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, honestly, because he's number 1 now. He's the number 3 ranked wide receiver in fantasy football this year. And he's not going to get the touches that he gets once Lamb comes back. Do you think he's going to be the diva that he is and just throw his fit, or what do you think?
I think he'll be okay, because I think now that they're starting to get chemistry, him and Dak, I think that they'll both be a solid option for him.
Yeah, that.
Where I think at the beginning of the year, they didn't really have the time to develop that.
I know one of the reasons that he's bounced around is because he is a bit of a diva. But if I'm Pittsburgh, dude, I'm freaking kicking myself for letting him go now. I mean, honestly, to have Metcalf and him, they would be just Aaron Rodgers wouldn't even. He could just play blindfolded and just go. But
I'll tell you what, and everybody knows Dowdell the last 2 weeks, or Dowdle or whatever, Rico Suave.
Rico Suave.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fantastic. But McMillan, that Terrio McMillan, he's really
showing
he
promise.
should be in the running for the Rookie of the Year. He's having a great year.
Yes. Yep. He got his first touchdown last week.
Yep.
Bryce Young, they showed a stat, blew my mind. Okay. He had 130 passer rating in the red zone so far this season.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. Like, Bryce Young sucks from his own goal line to his opponent's 20. But he gets to that opponent's 20-yard line, dude, he's scoring. We mentioned again last week about the Carolina Panthers podcasters that quit their podcast. Newsflash, buddies. Your little pretty kitties haven't lost since you all quit, so you might want to stay quit. You might want to.
Meow.
Yeah, meow. Oh, I love it. That's so good. So, anyways, shout out to the Panthers, dude. They're starting to come around, But Chuba Hubbard's set to come back soon, maybe even this week. I know that he's their number 1. Like I said to Nick yesterday, I think, Brock Purdy or Mac Jones got asked about, well, don't you think you should be starting over Brock Purdy? And he says, no, this is Brock's team. I step in when I'm needed. This is Brock's team. Very humble, thing for him to say, but they need to bench Brock Purdy and play Mac Jones. It's just the truth. But, if I'm Chuba Hubbard and my teammate, while I'm out, went for 500 scrimmage yards the 2 weeks prior, I'm going, coach, do not put me in. Like, keep riding. And now if you start sucking, I'm right here. Call my number, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Would you give the reins to Rico Foley now that he's been doing what he's doing, or?
I think they should run more of a split backfield where it was like 80-20. I think maybe now you go 50-50. Because I don't
do a Gibbs and Montgomery situation.
Yeah, I don't think you go right back to just Hubbard, because they weren't winning shit when it was just Hubbard.
No. Now, granted, Rico had a little bit of a revenge game last week, which, to talk shit, I don't know if you saw what he said before the game. He goes,
buckle up.
Yeah, buckle your chin straps because I'm coming.
Yeah.
And then in the press conference, before he even gets asked a question, he just goes, they didn't buckle up. And he ran right through him. He's not going to have that going into next week, but in the same breath, when you have this much momentum, I mean, you got to keep handing him the ball. You just do. So we'll see. But
almost 70 points in 2 weeks.
I know. He's
crazy.
My boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My boy, Blue. All right.
Ride the Rico train. I'll be more like a boat.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Love it. All right. Patriots and Saints. Patriots won 25-19. Drake May is settling into the NFL way better than I ever expected. On paper, when I started our fantasy year, and my fantasy quarterback was Drake May, and I think I had originally drafted Cam Ward just on a whim. I was like, holy fuck, I'm definitely getting last place. Then I dropped Cam Ward and picked up Daniel Jones, and now my quarterbacks are Drake May and Daniel Jones, and I look like a quarterback guru, even though I don't know shit. Even though I don't know. But I don't know. And even in my other league, I drafted Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud, and everybody's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence are putting up 30, 40 fantasy points every week now.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I want to say, I took Brock Bowers early. I did last year. It paid off. He's been hurt. So I got Hunter Henry. He sat on my bench first 3 weeks, got 70 points in fantasy. You haven't done nothing in the last 3 weeks. So, Hunter, if you're listening to this podcast that goes out to a lot of people, kick it in the ass this week.
Yeah, let's fucking get it together. Stop sucking so much. Yeah, we definitely, as much as we've said fuck Jerry Jones on this channel, we'd still have you on, bud. I'd love to pick your brain. So, could you imagine? Just fucking this little we talk enough shit that he gets on our fucking pod just to be like, fuck you guys. Sorry, I'm trying to give you a thumbs up. Fuck you guys. Like,
well, he's willing to flip Jets fans off. Hopefully he'll flip us
yeah, he'd be willing to tell us to eat a bag of dicks. That's for sure. Anyways, Patriots are starting to look good. If I'm like Vrabel, I'm going, I'm like, honestly, I think somebody posted the standings of the AFC North, and we're like, what year is it? Because the Patriots are in first, Buffalo's in third, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's a crazy time. So, yeah. All right. Browns, as we all know, traded away Joe Flacco. Dylan Gabriel is their number 1. They finally named Shedeur Sanders their number 2. But Dylan Gabriel I think he's shorter than Kyler Murray. I think he's like 5'10 or 5'11, and they always lie about that. Then I had to look it up because when Carson Wentz and him shook hands after the game a couple weeks ago, Carson Wentz is a foot or more taller than him.
Wow.
And Carson Wentz is like 6'7", okay? And they claim Dylan Gabriel's 5'11". He's so short, and it's just so hard.
Still 2 inches taller than Murray.
Yeah, dude, like fucking for real. But I just don't. The Browns are just an organizational clusterfuck. It's just bad in Cleveland. Joked with Nick earlier in the week. I said, how come Ohio State University is like NFL player university? Like they pump out. It's them and Alabama pump out more players than any other university in the world, right? But yet their 2 pro organizations in the state of Ohio are just terrible. Like the Bengals have been. Now, granted, the Bengals aren't bad when they have Hollywood Joe, but they never seem to have Hollywood Joe anymore because he's hurt a lot. I can honestly see him pulling an Andrew Luck and retiring after next year if he gets hurt again, which is sad because he's a very good football player, and I don't want to see that. But the Browns unloaded Joe Flacco to Cincinnati, and now they're stuck with 2 rookie quarterbacks. They still have Deshaun Watson on, whatever, but I don't even think he comes to meetings. Like, but the Steelers ended up winning 23-9. Pittsburgh, is looking way better than I ever anticipated them being with Aaron Rodgers. But I don't know, Nick, give me your take on the Browns QB room now that Flacco's gone.
I just think at some point here, and I hate the Shedeur Sanders show, but you got to give him a shot. You have nothing to lose.
Dude, for real.
Gabriel doesn't push the ball.
Nope.
He's a short pass type of guy, and they don't have the receivers that can break away like that.
I would really like to see the stats because I really feel like in the 2 games I've watched Dylan Gabriel play, 90% of his passes are over the middle to a tight end. Because that in college is easy money. It's not in the NFL. David Njoku, Dylan Gabriel better buy David Njoku like a neck brace or something because he's just taking an absolute ass.
Oh,
whooping.
he is.
He is.
Some of them hits were brutal.
Yeah, they were.
Who they playing? Cleveland this week?
Cleveland this week is going to be playing the Dolphins, so that's going to be a fun fucking
Well,
game.
they actually got a chance.
Actually, you're telling me there's a chance.
Because their D's not bad.
No. So, yeah. Another barn burner game from last week. Titans-Raiders. I'm not even going to touch this game for very long. Raiders won 20-10. Titans still look like ass. Raiders still look like ass. At some point, Pete Carroll is going to have to pull the plug on Geno Smith and give it to Kenny Pickett, just even for a game. Because
I just did, and I took Penix.
Yeah.
I brought up Penix for him. I'll ride the lefty for a while.
there you go. Yeah. So you'll get a kick out of this, Gary. So we realized that the only way a quarterback can be successful in Atlanta is if they have a last name that is 1 letter away from male genitalia. Michael Vick and Michael Penix. Oh, and they also have to be named Michael, too.
There you go. Yeah.
1 letter away from penis and dick. Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it. I own a Michael Vick jersey. I don't think I'll ever own a Michael Penix jersey. Just throwing that one out there. But you can ask Nick, I've not been super high on Penix. I thought coming out of college that he was just overhyped because he's on Washington. They're a good team, but you want to talk about a roller coaster team? Atlanta's the definition this year.
Yeah, I know.
Lose 30-0 to Carolina and then come out and beat one of the best teams in the league in the Bills on prime time. It's It's crazy. So, 49ers Bucs was a good game. Baker Mayfield made his case to be league MVP. He's got that dog in him. He's got that one play that he ran for a first down for 16 yards and broke like 4 tackles. That play, I would have it in my living room on a TV on a loop just for my friends to watch when they come over. Like, it's unbelievable. But Gary, what do you think the Bucs really got a shot to make the Super Bowl this year?
Boy, they got to get some of their guys back, and they got to get them back quick.
Yes.
I don't know if they've had a bye yet. They might be one of the teams next week to have that bye.
Yeah.
So you get – because Godwin isn't Godwin like he was last year early. Ibuka's hurt. Mike Evans has been out. Bucky Irving's out. If the best week for Detroit to play them is this week.
It is. It is.
But I love Baker Mayfield in his heart, and I hope they go a long way. I've always liked Tampa Bay.
Yep, for sure. I got nothing but good things to say about Baker. If I'm Baker, I have an 8x10 photo that hangs above my bed of me lining up playing defensive line for the Carolina Panthers practice squad. You saw that before, right?
No.
Yeah, he wasn't just playing backup quarterback for Carolina when he was there. They demoted him to practice squad defensive line, and let me see if I can't find that picture. Baker Mayfield, Panthers practice squad.
And it was hanging above your bed?
I would go to bed every single night. See, there it is right there. It's him playing the line for the Carolina Panthers practice squad.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. And now he's making $200-300 million winning games for, like, if I'm Cleveland and Carolina, I'm looking at what Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are doing, which were both on their roster at one point, and going, man, maybe we should start like fucking playing hockey or something. I don't know, man. This organizational disasters. So
they get rid of them too quick sometimes.
Yes,
man.
They don't give these young guys. I mean, I forget who it was said. Feels so much worse for these younger quarterbacks coming into the league because there's zero guidance. Like even Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel getting some guidance from Joe Flacco, Cleveland didn't even feel that was worth enough to them to keep him on just as an advisor for these young quarterbacks, that they unloaded him to a division rival. When's the last time, Nick, that you can remember that a quarterback got traded in a division?
It's been forever, because to me it's just wild.
Dude, I'm going to say this now. There is another underlining issue that's going to end up coming out by the end of the year as to why that happened. There's got to be something. Cleveland's not calling Cincinnati going, I think we can help you. Do you know what? And Cincinnati they clearly made the call to Cleveland, but they passed up on Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Kirk Cousins, all three very valuable, very cheap options because Atlanta's got to pay Kirk. Denver's still paying Russell, and Jameis Winston will play for a bag of Cheerios. So, I don't know. But, hey, it is what it is.
It is.
So,
it's crazy.
Yeah, okay. Moving on. Bengals-Packers. Speaking of that, Joe Flacco is the first player to have to play the same team twice in 1 year for two different teams in the quarterback position. He had to play him for the Browns, and then he had to play him for the Bengals.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about. However, it did give Cincinnati some flashes of hope, because he does have the long ball still. Joe Flacco still got some football left in him. However, the Packers ended up winning 27-18. The biggest flaw that the Bengals have is their offensive line is a bunch of cardboard cutouts of Dr. Evil. I just don't know. It's just bad. Nick, what are the Bengals going to be able to salvage any more games before Joe comes back?
I think they will. Joe Flacco had 3 days to learn that offense.
Yeah.
So, he's a veteran. Yeah, he's been around numerous playbooks. So give him another week to actually practice and get some chemistry with some of these guys. And, yeah, I think they'll pull a couple out. I think they go 500.
Yeah, and, okay, so extension question. Does Joe Burrow come back this year at all if they don't have playoff hopes?
No.
I wouldn't. Would you?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Doesn't make any sense. So, but if they're, God, this would be so unplausible. But if they're 7-7, Joe's coming back. But I just don't see it. So
yeah,
it's gonna be tough. And if I'm Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you got your contracts. You know where you're at. You can't. It's hard to not want to show that frustration, but at least I think their whole thing was, how can we spend the least amount of money and get someone for the deep ball? And I think Joe Flacco was that best option, but personally, I think Jameis Winston would have done all right too. I mean, really, because the problem that Jameis Winston had in his career is he's always had one good receiver that he's had to throw to in double coverage, where with having two in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, someone's going to be single almost every single play, and that's where Jameis Winston's always succeeded, is throwing to single coverage, not quadruple coverage. So, but
it's a wash for me, Flacco or Jameis Winston. It would be
honestly,
I don't know.
Same. It'd be about the same.
I think, like you said, Nick, if they're like 4-10 or something like that, or 4-11, let him heal up.
Yep.
Pray to God next year that he gets through the season healthy, because he will call it quits.
Yeah, he should. Speaking of one that did call it quits, that the Bengals did call on, was Derek Carr. I read this article this afternoon. They called Derek Carr, and Derek Carr declined. And he didn't write off that he wouldn't come back to the NFL. But he pretty much said, he goes, if I'm going to make another run in the NFL, I'm not going to play in the shadow of Joe Burrow. And I don't blame him for that. You know, he wants to come back and be a starter and have a team, and I can't say I knock him for that, because he's been proven over the years that he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But what are your thoughts on that, Nick? Do you think he should have just come back and tried, or do you think he made the right choice?
I think with all the injuries and season-ending injuries he's had the last few years, I think he's at least going to take this year off, and maybe next year he does make a run at it.
Yeah, I don't see
and
why he wouldn't.
The joy about him, he can sit down until getting near playoff time right now.
Yep.
And when somebody gets hurt, he could step into a playoff team. If I were him, that's what I'd be doing, other than jeopardizing being on a 4-10 team.
Yeah.
I'd wait it out.
Yeah, not a bad call. So
Minnesota's probably going to need a quarterback by week 12, so maybe they're out.
Yeah, their offensive line's right up there with the Bengals. So,
but okay. O'Connell has revived Sam Darnold. He's shown he can run quarterbacks on a resurgence.
Yep, for sure. All right, it's a touchy subject here. We kind of spoke on it earlier. Lions ended up losing to the Chiefs 30-17. I think we kind of touched on the penalties. We touched on, Goff didn't look the best, but it's hard when, you make a play and then it gets called back, because that's the other thing. Okay. I don't think it's fair that a penalty doesn't get called, right? And New York gets to phone in to the ref and say, hey, you missed this call. Call it. Because that is what happened on that touchdown for Jared Goff. They did not call it in Kansas City. New York saw it and then phoned down and made him call it. I think that's bullshit. The whole thing with the Chiefs not getting calls, period, is bullshit. But there were multiple instances where Travis Kelce would be in motion, and and all that. I just don't. The whole thing just stinks to high hell. But overall, the Lions didn't play a good game. You can blame the calls, you can blame the refs, you can blame the devil worshippers, well, all you want. Patrick Mahomes actually showed up and played good football, and the Lions didn't. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. What are your thoughts, Gary?
Just what you said.
Yeah.
It's one of them games where, you can dwell on it, you can blame the refs, that Kelce pass that, looked like a picnic basket sitting on the ground.
Yep.
It went on, and I don't, I know you see the Facebook and all the bull crap, Dan Campbell and all this shit,
yeah.
but it was a very, very poorly executed played game.
It was
by Detroit.
I know. I loved Dan Campbell gives the best halftime interviews. He does, and you could tell he spent 20 minutes screaming at the top of his lungs. Because you're talking like this about the interview at halftime. He could barely still speak. He was in there like, all right, whose bitch am I going to fuck after this game? You know what I mean? But that's why we love him. So, all right, moving on. Upset of the week definitely I would say would be the Falcons beating the Bills. That was incredible. Nick, did you get to watch most of that a couple nights ago, or?
Yeah, that's why I have 3 TVs: playoff baseball, football.
Yep, love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Josh Pennick showed though what he can do when he has time.
Yes, he did. He did a very good job of it.
Day.
Yep. Because Bills D is really not what it normally is. And honestly, the Bills, the Bills and Eagles are on fraud alert right now, big time. Like they've always been really consistently good teams, but right now this year, like if you played them against each other, they might even tie. I mean, like it's kind of incredible. But B.J. Robinson looked like the number 1 overall fantasy football draft pick. I mean, he had a lot of yards from scrimmage, had caught a lot of passes, looked really good. But
you know something?
Huh?
The first 3-4 games of the year, Buffalo run James Cook 20, give him 20 carries.
Yep.
He got like 11 2 weeks ago for 40. He got 87 this week on 13 touches. That's when Buffalo's good. Run the ball, then let Allen do a little play action.
Yeah.
I think he's throwing too much.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, when, same thing with the Eagles. You have Saquon Barkley, who ran for over 2,000 yards last year, and you want to give him the ball 6 times a game? What are you smoking, Nick Sirianni? I'd say I want some, but I kind of don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but, but it's also been time. We're just so accustomed to the same teams being good. It's about damn time that they lost some games. It was nice to see Josh Allen on the sideline look like deer in the headlights instead of the other way around,
Right.
So that was good. But, however, the other Monday night game, again, I think this is our last doubleheader on Monday night for the year. Jake Moody's redemption game. He got the game-winning field goal for Chicago. But the Commanders did not look very, very good. Caleb Williams is starting to really come into himself. But again, not a Ben Johnson fan. But what are the Bears are 3-2. What are you thinking on them right now, Nick?
I think they're so sketchy week to week, and the Commanders showed a lot of holes. Scary Terry's supposed to be back this week. He's been out for 3 weeks. I think they'll be okay, and I think the Bears are still kind of mediocrity at the moment.
Yeah, But Commanders, this year has proven to me that the sophomore slump is realer than it ever has been. I mean, you look at last year, C.J. Stroud did terrible. This year, he's back doing it decent again.
Yep.
This year, Jaden Daniels is kind of struggling. He was hurt a little bit, and it goes down the line. Like, I think the only person that's not really experiencing a sophomore slump this year that was drafted as a quarterback 2 years ago is Drake May. Bo Nix.
Right. Bo Nix isn't
doing great.
Right.
Drake May's out there playing like Jesus. It's just unbelievable. So, anyways, I forgot if I said this, but Falcons won 24-14, and the Bears on a last-second field goal ended up beating the Commanders 25-24. So, okay.
By the way, there's a doubleheader this Monday.
Dude.
Seriously. It's
Hey,
a
Jerry.
7 and 10 o'clock game.
Hey, Roger Goodell, fuck you. Sorry. I'm over it. No one likes doubleheaders. It's okay, and this doubleheader is even a terrible doubleheader because it's a 7 and a 10 game.
Yeah, I'm not going to be awake for that.
No, that just sucks, but
Seattle and Houston.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
That's too bad because it's a good game.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a really good game.
I'll have to just get the scores off the Hulaham Hour.
Yeah, there we go. Love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't mind if you do the 7 and 8-15, but 7 and 10, like who's staying up that late?
Dude, yeah.
Not a ton of viewers.
Well, at least east of the Mississippi River. Okay, let's get into our pick'ems. And then, well, like I said, we don't have a lot to go over other than that. So let's get right into our pick'ems. Thursday Night Football. This should be we got the Battle of the Unks. And we got Steelers-Bengals. We got a 40-year-old quarterback on one side. We got a 41-year-old quarterback on the other side. Nick, who you got?
Oh, we're doing the over-under on who hurts their hip getting out of bed? Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I got
I
the
don't
Steelers.
think Cincinnati's there yet.
No, I got Pittsburgh all day. Who you got, Gary?
Pittsburgh,
yeah. Sweep of the Pits. Love it. All right. You know what? This could end up being actually, London might get a good game this week. Rams-Jags. Who you got, Nick?
Man, the Rams have looked rough. Without Puka Nacua, they're 2-4. Give me Jacksonville in this. I think that defense holds up if Nacua doesn't go, and I think they surprise the Rams.
Yeah. Well, Jacksonville is London's home team. They go over there every year. They have the biggest fan base. The owner of that Shad Khan or whatever that owns the Jags has joked about actually relocating the team there.
Wow.
So it's hard for me to pick the Rams just because of that. The Jaguars are going to have some home field advantage. I will also say American football viewers, take this note. When inquiring with some of the players that have been playing overseas, they have said nothing but good in the point of this. In America, fans are on their phones. They're dicking around. Those fans in the UK stay the entire game. They cheer the whole time for both sides. It's a completely different game. I just think that we need to, you can't do like what the Masters does and take everyone's phones and shit, but like just be involved. Shit, that the Lions are proven too that like, one, we're probably the best versed traveling team. We see more Honolulu blue in the stands for visitor games than I see any other color for any other team. But I don't know. I just travel it over to London. It's also another stat that
you know what? They're happy drunks too.
Yeah,
they're not like us.
Yes, they're very happy drunk. Well, unless when you're in Dublin, the backup quarterback for Pittsburgh got shivved and jumped. But hey, too many Guinnesses will do that to the best of us. So, but I don't know. I'm gonna take the Jags. So who you got, Gary?
Oh, I'll take the Jaguars.
Love it.
Their defense.
Eat it, Nick. All right. Yeah, their defense is good.
I picked the Jags. What are you talking about?
Oh, you did? Oh, I thought you picked the Rams.
Deaf bastard.
Oh. All right. Well, eat it anyways. All right. God, this is a game that I hope ties. Eagles Vikings. I'm personally going to take. Oh God, I don't want an NFC North team to win, but I also don't want Philadelphia to win. So I'm calling the tie. Gary, who you got?
I'll take Minnesota Vikings.
There we go. Carson Wentz. What you got, Nick?
I think Philly bounces back in this with how banged up the Vikings are.
It is in Minnesota though, so we'll see. But who knows?
Hopefully Saquon goes off for 200.
That'd be...
So here's the number I heard this year. This is how much worse their offensive line is. He averaged 4.3 yards per carry before being touched last year. He's down to 2.4.
Yeah.
And he has not one 20-yard rush this year.
Wow.
That's insane. Something's...
That offensive line is different. It's banged.
Yeah, it's bad. So, okay. Yeah, Patriots-Titans, I think we all kind of know who we're taking. I'm going to take the Patriots. Nick, who you got?
Yeah, give me them Titans with no coach. No.
Give me them Titans with no coach.
Patriot.
Hey, man.
New England.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's college football and it's totally different than the pros. However, look what UCLA has done. I mean, they started 0-4. They fired their coach, and then they've taken out 2 top 25 teams since then. I'm sorry. They took down Michigan State, and then they took down number 4 ranked Penn State, and then essentially got their coach fired. I mean, yeah, that's incredible. So, all right. This game on paper to start the year would have looked like shit, but now I think it might not be too bad. But Panthers-Jets, Nick, who you got?
Oh, Jets are going 0-6.
Yeah.
Or 0-7.
0-7.
Panthers.
Sure. Yeah. I got Rico Dowdle at least going for another $150 for sure.
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah, definitely. It's another sweep. All right, I think Pooper Bowl of the week here. Dolphins-Browns. Who you got, Gary?
Oh, God.
Another tie. Another tie.
I actually think the Dolphins are going to win this game.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins too. Who you got, Nick?
Give me Cleveland. I think
you can have them.
Yeah, you can have the whole
You
team.
want my Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Nick, in order to have the Cleveland Browns fully, you have to spend 30 minutes in a room alone with Deshaun Watson with no door to get out. So,
That's fine. Do I get Myles Garrett as a bodyguard?
No, you don't. And actually, you have to dress up as a masseuse. Actually, dress up as a masseuse.
No escape.
You get like South Park, the nipple flaps.
Love it. All right. I think this game is going to show the Bears' true colors, but I got Saints versus the Bears. I'm going to take the Saints out of spite that I don't pick the NFC North to win games. But, Nick, what do you think?
Dude, the Saints have looked better, but I don't think they're good in any way, shape, or form. I got to go with the Bears on that one.
All right. Who you got, Gary?
Yeah, I don't want the Bears to win, but I'm going with them.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. Ben Johnson.
Swift has been hot again.
He's been looking definitely a lot better. That's for sure.
The old nail-painted dick grabbers.
All right. You know what? All right. The next game we got on the docket is Raiders-Chiefs, and I'm going to asterisk it with this. The Chiefs are at home. If the Raiders can somehow win this game, it's proof that last week's Lions-Chiefs game was fucking rigged. Like, just, I don't see the Raiders winning this game, but if somehow they do, and I'm also picking them to win because I don't pick devil worshippers on this channel. So, Nick, who you got?
You know, Rashee Rice is back on the field this week. I just don't think the Raiders have any chance with Geno Smith.
Watch your whore mouth.
Yeah.
I know, it's tough. What you got, Gary?
I hope they put the chefs down instead of the Chiefs in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's who I got.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against them, especially after. I mean, last week they looked like a whole lot better of a team, that's for sure. So
What scares me with them, though, is this is the most rushing yards Mahomes has had all year. One of these, somebody's going to tag that fucker, and their season's going to be done.
Yep.
Oh, and he won't be going.
Looking like the guy from Scary Movie. Let me stir that with my strong hand.
If I'm any defender, though, give me that 15-yard penalty, eject me from that game, but I'm going to kill him if I get a chance.
Yeah, dude, I would just absolutely be leveling his ass. All right. You know what? This I think, looking at the rest of the matchups, besides, I think there's only one other game that'll give this a run for the money for the game of the week, but Colts Chargers. Who you got, Gary?
I really liked Indianapolis this year.
Yeah.
I think they're well-rounded. Their defense is good.
Yep.
I'll go with them.
Yeah, I got Indy too, but who you got, Nick?
Yeah, I fully agree with what Gary said on that. I got to roll with Indianapolis.
Yeah. It's not that the Chargers they've been playing bad the last couple games for sure. However, I still think on paper this game should be pretty close, like a 27-28 kind of game. So we'll see. Giants Broncos. Ooh, it's in Denver. Nick, what are your thoughts?
Give me Scatterboo and Dart. I like the energy they've been bringing. They're only going to get better as long as they can stay healthy and quit getting evaluated for concussions every game. Then I think the Giants have a real chance.
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants because the Broncos look like shit right now. The Giants don't. It's hard to pick against the Giants right now, but yeah, so I'm taking the Giants. Who you got, Gary?
Giants.
Giants, love it. Another sweep. All right.
The Giants' D-line is just under-talked about how good their D-line is.
Yeah, because people forget that they took the best defensive lineman in the draft last year. You know, he's just been
sexy Dexy, man. He's always a monster.
Flying under the radar for sure. But when it comes to the NFC least, not NFC East, the NFC least, I almost hate them more than I hate the Packers and the Vikings and the goddamn Bears. So it's not saying much.
Easy now.
Easy. All right. Speaking of the NFC North, Packers Cardinals. You know, it's in Arizona. I don't know if Kyler's going to play or not. I don't think it matters if he plays or not because, honestly, the Cardinals looked better with Jacoby Brissett last week, I think. I'll take the Pack attack. But I think it could be a good game. But what do you think, Gary?
I hate to say I'm taking all of the teams that I don't want to win.
I know, but
the Lions division, but
yeah.
They're all favored. Green Bay's playing good. They started off the season good, a little shaky on that Dallas game, but you got to take them.
Yeah, I'm still upset that I had to watch fucking 80 minutes of football or whatever the hell it was to watch 80-something points scored for it to be a fucking tie game. That was deterring. So, all right, Nick, who you got?
You know, I think if Jacoby Brissett starts this game, he actually ran that offense pretty well. Give me Arizona if he's playing.
There we go. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, prove us wrong, Nick. Okay, another NFC least division matchup here in Commanders Cowboys. Who you got, Nick?
Oh God, fuck Jerry Jones. Give me the Commanders.
Just rename this channel "Fuck Jerry Jones Hour." Just rename it.
Yeah, F*** K Jerry Jones. New title.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna take the Commanders because I'm not gonna pick the Cowboys to win a single game the rest of the year. Who you got?
I'm taking the Commanders, and I bet there's over 60 points scored in that game.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking the over in that one all day long.
I would say even probably 70.
Yeah. All right. Our Sunday night game, Falcons 49ers. This game could be a really good game. This game could be a complete rout. 49ers, another headline we kind of forgot about. 49ers lost Fred Warner for the year. That's a... Dude, if I am a 49ers player, I am investigating my personal trainers. Because, holy shit, dude. I understand that Detroit went through it last year, but, I feel like the Ravens and the 49ers this year are making what happened to Detroit last year just look like nothing. I mean, it's been bad. So, with that being said, 49ers are at home. But after the Falcons doing what they did to the Bills last week, it's hard for me to not take the Falcons, so I'm going to take the Falcons. So, who you got, Gary?
Falcons.
All day.
Yeah, I got to.
Yep.
I just invested their quarterback.
There you go.
If I'm a Niners fan, I'm going, how in the fuck is Christian McCaffrey the only healthy guy on our team this year?
No shit, though, dude. I didn't think about it like that.
Every year. I don't think the Falcons are going to come out on top. I think the Niners and Mac Jones will step up, and I think he'll score a lot. Give me the Niners.
All right. I think, the next game, Bucs-Lions. Gary, you said it very well. We're playing the Bucs at the best time of the year that we could be playing them, with them having half their offense out. I'm taking the Lions regardless if they had a full-strength team or not, but who you got?
Yeah, definitely the Lions, hopefully by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. Nick, what are you thinking?
I obviously got the Lions, but Mike Evans is looking at suiting up on Monday.
Is he really?
He is projected right now and on track to be suited and playing on Monday.
All right. How about it?
At least he's got somebody other than Tez who doesn't know what the fuck is going on to throw the ball to.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that I won't be awake to watch the 10 o'clock game, but after a Lions Monday night game before that, I'll be probably too drunk to want to watch the 10 o'clock window. So there's that. So, all right, and then the last game for our picks this week, rounding it out, it's Texans-Seahawks. So again, like we said, that's going to be a really good game. It's in Seattle. So with that being said, I'm definitely taking the Seahawks. What do you think, Gary?
I think even the weather, and you don't know what the weather's going to be, but it just that late just doesn't even sound fun.
No, it doesn't at all.
At all.
7 o'clock in Seattle, the city.
I might be watching, the Sound of Music or something.
Love it. Fucking love it. Oh, Nick, who you got?
I've been super high on Seattle's defense this whole year, and I'm going to stick with them. Their defense has been great, and I think they shut down C.J. Stroud pretty well.
Yeah.
So you're taking the Texans then, eh?
I don't know even. What do you think Joe Mixon's coming back this year?
I think he will, but they're going to ease him back into it.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's going to make them any better. I mean, honestly, especially with him sitting out as long as he has, it's going to be such a crapshoot for him to want to come back and play and be good. But he's on the non-football injury list. Do you know what he did?
No, I don't have a clue.
He's fucking probably driving a side-by-side and rolled it or some stupid shit.
Playing with fireworks or something.
Playing with fireworks.
Last year when I think they missed Tank Dell. They need another go-to receiver.
Yeah. Well, they drafted one and then he got hurt, didn't he? I think they drafted another receiver this year who's already down. So.
And Christian Kirk hasn't been Christian Kirk in 2 years.
He's done.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to wrap us up for our pick'em. So we're going to breeze through these last couple topics. College football, not looking so good for Michigan teams. We got, Michigan has dropped out of the top 25, and rightfully so. I said last week, Bryce Underwood, I think, throws too hard of a ball for college. I don't know, Nick. What's the problem at U of M, man?
We got a lot of problems right now. One is our defense. That is something we've always been able to rely on.
Yep.
And we have not been able to rely. We're the shit. And It's not that Bryce Underwood throws it too hard. He's got to learn finesse.
Yes.
In the NFL, when they throw it like rockets, they drop it too.
Yeah,
you got to learn how to drop it in there. You can't stick it in their face mask.
Yeah.
And our running game is just, we beat up fucking D2 schools. Yeah, we're really good at that.
Yeah, we're really good. But not the rest of it. So, yeah. Michigan dropped to USC 31-13. Game of the week to watch. That Indiana-Oregon game was fun. Kurt Signetti, say what you want about him, but it's kind of a gangster. I mean, there was one interview he was doing where the reporter asked a really stupid question. He goes, Google me. I win games. Next question. And it comes across as kind of pompous and asshole-ish, but at the end of the day, dude backed it up. I mean, he's taken Indiana, a basketball school, and made them a football school.
In, top 3 or 4?
They're number 3 now.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, so Nebraska even crested the top 25 this week. It's looking really good. Your Bama, your Roll Tide, they ended up beating Mizzo, dude. I mean,
they got another ranked game this week. This is 4 in a row.
I know.
They faced number 11 Tennessee.
And I'm going to also asterisk that with this, okay? I already know that you're going to say that they need to be number 1 because of it. But
no.
Ohio State, Miami, and Indiana do not play a top 25 team the rest of the year.
Ooh. Yeah, but Alabama's got a loss. You can't be number 1 with undefeated right now and have a loss.
Okay.
You just can't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. However, when you look at the resume and Alabama has 5 victories against top 25 teams and a loss to a top 25 team, okay? And then the other teams have only played 3 top 25 teams all year. How do you not go, holy shit, these guys are better? I know the panel is full of old heads that don't really get it anyways, but I don't know, man. It's going to be really tough. One, if Alabama ends up making it to the playoff period, they are the most dangerous team right now, period. So
if they roll Tennessee this week, I would look for them to jump up quite a bit. That'd be
sure.
4 straight ranked matchups in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they always seem to get in somehow. So.
They do, man. They do, for sure.
Except for last
year. Yeah, except for last. Well, you had, 3 losses last year?
So what?
Yeah.
I'm biased.
Yep. So, anyways, my Michigan State Spartans take on Indiana this week, which is going to be a fucking shit show. Who's Michigan play this week?
Washington.
Okay, so that's why it's not on my list. So that should be a fun one to watch. But
Michigan State next weekend.
Is it next weekend?
The next weekend.
And you want to know something, though? I was just talking to my uncle about this the other day. I think it'll actually be a really good game for the first time in a while. Because both teams are unranked. Both teams are kind of we don't really know. I watched Michigan the first few weeks. I'm like, damn, this team's got it going on. And then the last couple weeks, it's been like, holy shit. And then Michigan State, gets beat by UCLA, and then they get beat by USC, and then they, it's just, so I don't know. But then when you play those rivalry games, it's a whole different aspect. How many times has an unranked Michigan team beat Ohio State ranked? It's and so on and so forth. So that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
It'll be a good game. I'm going to get a couple frozen pizzas. It'll be so exciting.
Oh, shit. All right, and to wrap us up for the week, some somber news from the Detroit Tigers end of things. They did not, after 15 innings of play, beat out the big dumper in Seattle. I did a 999 challenge during that game, which I will never do again because I spent the next day on the toilet like the whole fucking day. But I did it, 9 beers, and I did it, just for the record, 1 beer and 1 hot dog per inning. I didn't power drive 6 hot dogs and beers down my gullet before the 4th inning. I did it the way that the game is supposed to be played, mainly because my wife was sitting there giving me shit about it. She's like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. I'm like, do you want me to come to bed just fucking railed, or do you want me to come to bed and actually be a human being still? But hey, I did it, and I ended up, no, this is very bad, but with it being a later game and being the fact that I drank 9 beers, as soon as Seattle got that first hit in the bottom of the 9th inning, I shut the TV off and went to bed, and then woke up and found out that everybody's like, well, did you do 15, 15, and 15? I said, no, I'm not suicidal. So, yeah, but highly recommend everybody tries that at least once. Shout out to the Philadelphia Phillies. They actually had did a box for the postseason where you could get the 9-9. It was 9 beers. It was 9 10-ounce beers and 9 3/4 size hot dogs. I don't know how much it was, but when I was doing research on it, to get some tips and tricks, and I said, what's the hardest part about the 999 challenge? And the first response was affording 9 beers at an MLB stadium. And I'm like, fucking very valid point. So, but anyways, Tigers ended up losing to Seattle 3-2 in 15 innings, end our postseason run. So we will still be covering in the next few episodes the AL and NLCS, and then we will cover the World Series and when that wraps up. We'll be in full swing again with NHL and NBA seasons. So the NHL is about 3-4 games in, and NBA doesn't tip off again for actually it's a week from today. It's the 21st, so it's coming up. It's coming up very quick. So yeah, it'll actually be next Tuesday. So we'll have a little bit of NBA coverage next week. So that'll be great. So Awesome.
And,
Well, Gary, appreciate you coming on, man. I hope you had fun. I know we
Always
did.
do.
Always had a blast. Nick, you got anything else this week, bro?
Yeah, we'll just touch on the rest of the baseball. I am a diehard postseason fan, even though the Tigers are out. Seattle up 2-0, game 3 in 20 minutes.
Nice.
And the Dodgers, Yamamoto just threw a complete game. The game before, Blake Snell threw 8 innings of 1 hit ball. So the Dodgers are looking like the Dodgers, and I'm hoping Seattle goes up 3-0 today. They're back home.
Damn, love it. Well, thank you for that tidbit, Nick.
Who do you want to win it, Nick?
I like Seattle.
Seattle?
They've never been to a World Series before.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the fact they've never been to one actually get in there and win it.
No, it'd be good. And honestly, it'd be the cherry on top of Cal's season too. Like, break the record for home runs for a catcher. He's definitely going to win MVP. I just don't see him not winning MVP. Like, the fact that they're even considering Aaron Judge as a competitor against Cal, if I'm Cal, I'm like, fuck you people, dude. He hasn't played nearly what I've played. So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely, Seattle's definitely the favorite, though, are they not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
their offense is absolutely rolling right now. They have stifled Toronto's offense, and that has been an amazing offense all
I'll tell you what, that Naylor that they picked up at first,
Oh, yeah.
he's good.
Yeah.
Rodriguez
super
is hitting good. Polanco is killing them like he killed the Tigers. Just an absolute clutch hit machine.
Yep. Gotta love it. So.
Jorge.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think we are going to wrap this week up. Again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Gary, again, thank you very much. And with that being said, we are Hulaham out.